at NTV.
Well, one of the complainants of the NRM aspirants in the ongoing nomination has been that they are cash-strapped and it's becoming expensive to carry out campaigns. But how about those who are taking on the incumbents? In studio today, I'm joined by the aspirants. We have Sheila Amanio, who wants to become the Mukono, our district woman member of parliament, and Jen Francis Samongin, who is taking on the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, and Minister Pasis Namganza for the NRM National Vice Chairperson female. Good to have you, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning.
You all look beautiful. You're all indulged in colors. Jen Francis, it's all yellow all through. I can surely see that you're vying for this position.
Yes.
Sheila, to start with, when did you start to feel that you should stand?
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
I had this aspiration 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I started building on it year in, year out. Started doing some work on ground to see exactly what the gaps that are there. And eventually when the opportunity availed itself, I came up.
How is the ground so far now that you already picked the forms and you went back on the ground? What is the experience like?
The experience is exciting. It's overwhelming. Lucky for me, the incumbent is not coming back, so the ground is leveled. This is, it is new ideas, new faces, new everything, new energy.
New energy.
For Mukono.
Well, that is Sheila from Mukono. She's saying that the aspirant is not coming back, so it's new energies.
Yes.
Jen Francis Samongin, you're taking on someone with one of the biggest cloaks in this country. Should we say she's the second or the third powerful woman, the first powerful woman in this country? What does it feel like to take on this kind of mantle?
It's a challenge, but a challenge that I'm ready for, because I am aware that she also started somewhere.
Okay.
And I think she even started much younger than I am.
Okay.
And I feel my starting point is the best.
The best. Women, according to research, shows that they're not so much involved into elections, and on the election day, they all, for some reason, they step aside. They say, I'm just not going to vote, because they fear chaos that would come off it. What kind of modalities do you have in place to make sure that the women are now actually geared towards this election and they participate at full scale?
We really just want to encourage the women, talk to them in those groups where they are. Women just need to be given that push. They need to be encouraged and told it's all well. However, we also need to talk to their husbands. The husbands have to understand that these women have their own path to take, especially when they are choosing their leaders, because this is their time, and if they don't do it, they are the ones to suffer.
Okay.
So the men really have to know that the women must participate.
That said, you're coming to take on Kadaga. What thing do you think the female representative in the NRM organ, she has not done enough and you want actually to amplify, or she has done and you just want to amplify that?
I first of all want to appreciate her, because she has been at the forefront of women emancipation. And I would really feel that this is an opportunity for her to also see what she has been working for, empowering the girl child, empowering the women, and this is her achievement. For the women like us to come on board, wherever the speaker is, she should actually be saying, thank you, Jen Francis. You are an achievement of NRM, and I'm proud of you.
Do you in any way feel like you're scared about the clout she holds and the power and the man and all? The other day, she was actually in Fort Portal. She went aboard the Uganda police flight, and all this, does it in one way or the other, one way pull you back?
It actually doesn't pull me back. It encourages me, because for me, I am still very energetic, and I feel I don't need a chopper to go to Fort Portal.
You can go on the road.
I can go on the road. So I will not be wasting those resources.
Okay. Coming back to you, Sheila, you've seen the women when you're on the ground trying to canvass for their voice to your side. What do you make of the women on ground?
The women on ground want someone to hold them.
Okay.
They want someone to represent them. They want someone to speak for them. They want someone to, it's called lobby for them, because there's so many challenges that they're facing on ground, from education to health to social amenities, you know, all that. There's a lot of gaps that they want the leaders to pitch for them, to lobby for them, and bring those services closer to them.
And what do you make of the local leaders in the communities where you're walking through, the LC ones, the women leaders? Are they in sync with the national plan you want to achieve, or the constituency plan?
Yes, they are. And in fact, they're very excited.
Okay.
They're very excited that there's new energy that is coming, one that is going to work with government programs and other stakeholders.
Yeah.
And they're welcoming me. They're warm. They're telling me their issues. And these are the issues that I'm going to lobby for them and table them.
A few days ago, I understand you went to the islands, Kome. There was fire in Kome. You reached Kome?
Actually, correction, I'm going there tomorrow.
You're going there tomorrow.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
these islands, have you tried to take time? You said you're doing some work on ground for the
Yes.
5 years. Have you taken time to go to Kome and understand the fishing communities and what their troubles are? And how do you hope to fix that?
Well, they have issues with the policies. They don't favor them. The policies don't favor them. They're a bit too harsh on them. And these are the issues I want to come and address. There are issues of boats, the issues of the fishing nets, the issues of allowing them to really maneuver around the water bodies and all that.
There's a lot of marine security that is not good for them.
There's a lot of marine security around them, but it's about engaging and working together with the stakeholders, with the policy makers.
Now, what are some of these challenges you've already identified on ground, and you've seen that, okay, well, these are happening? What strategies do we have in place to make sure that we bridge that gap?
Well, they don't have the tools. And if I lobby for them and they get these boats, these nets, and they make the environment conducive for them, it will be a better place for them. Yes.
Okay. Jen Francis.
Yes. Giving them relief.
Okay. Now, Jen Francis, going to the incumbent, you're lucky the incumbent you're taking on is actually possibly not coming, but you have Namboze there. That's a conversation we're getting
Namboze
to.
is not the woman in member of parliament.
Okay.
Yes.
We're getting there. Jen Francis, you're taking on the incumbent, the Speaker of Parliament. When we go to what we call financial flows in elections, what does it mean to your side? Is it such an investment? Is it an expensive venture to take on a speaker who has been a speaker for as long as I've been here, and with all the clout and the fiber that goes in the system? What does it take financially?
Financially, of course, it's training, but I am also appealing to cadres out there that this money will not deliver us. As a party now, we are undergoing transition, whether we like it or not. So if we are going to look at the money, then some of our elders will go with this party. But we want the party to remain here with us. And it's high time we rub shoulders with them. I really want to work with the vision bearer. And if we do not work around the vision bearer, then he will go with his vision. So I really plead to the people out there. This money, let it come. Let's eat that money, but let's vote for Jen Francis.
No. Jen Francis, I don't want you to campaign here, but I want to know the challenge you're facing. Because you're facing someone who is financially muscled, grounded in the fiber for all the years she has been there. Now here you come, you say, I'm going to handle this. How are you handling the issue of the financial challenges? Because we're in turbulent times. COVID-19 is here, and it has messed up the economy, and now here you have to go through a big investment of elections.
It is a big challenge, but I also have a team of volunteers who feel it's time for change.
Okay, so you're saying, are they financing your vying?
They are doing it voluntarily. They are moving, talking to people.
So does talking to people finance your movements in one way or the other?
Of course, I also have some little thing here and there that can take me, at least not in a chopper, but in a car or in my bus. I mean, in the bus, I can board and go because I really want this. It's that passion that is driving me, because we need to have our people enjoy this party. There's really a very big gap between the policy-making organ and the Wananchi down there. This party was brought into power by Wananchi, but they're losing touch. These people are too busy up here. So
are you saying that there is a gap between the person representing the women today at the high organ?
Yes.
Plus the one down?
Yes.
And it's you who just say that Kadaga has been over the years drumming for the women to arm up and come up forward, and here you are, and you're saying there is a detach?
There is a gap. She has done her part.
Explain the detach then.
the women down there do not have time to even see their chairperson. They don't even have time to hear from her because her bucket is full. So we need someone who is available. We need someone who can run around. Sometimes it's just going to them and saying, it's well. This is what we are doing. They need that message. But we don't have to run to them during campaign time. 5 years down the road, have we seen them? Have we seen the vice chairperson on our radios?
So you're saying Kadaga is not on ground, but she's at the high organ?
Many believe so, and I do.
Okay. Sheila, the incumbent is not coming back. I'm really taking on this, what it takes to take on the incumbent. Now that the incumbent is not coming back, what makes you feel that you're best placed to run this?
First of all, the position is vacant.
Okay.
Okay, it's vacant. Therefore, it's going to be leveled,
okay,
if I may say so.
Okay.
Because if the incumbent was coming back, then the ground wasn't going to be leveled. She was going to, you know, have her her supporters and but now we're fighting for the same supporters.
Okay. Have you tried to find time to talk to the incumbent and have a one-on-one possibly?
She's actually running for an electoral position somewhere.
Oh, yes. So she...
So she's busy right now.
Okay.
She's as busy as I am.
And on the ground, what do you make of the opposition forces that are actually running on the ground?
You know, people keep saying that there's opposition, but from my experience, there's no opposition.
In this country?
People in Mukono, at the grassroots,
love
NRM.
Okay.
They love the party that I'm standing for
do
right
they
now.
Do they love NRM or do they love people who deliver?
They love the party because of the programs that have reached out to them.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's where you're looking at.
They've benefited in some of the programs that the government has extended to them.
Let's talk about the issue of health in Mukono, especially one to the islands and, of course, off the islands back on the mainland. What do you make of the health structures in Mukono, especially for the women now?
Well, the government has done its part. There are some structures. But when I come in, this is one of the issues I want to address, to help elevate some of those health facilities from health center 2s, health center 3s, to at least regional, to hospitals.
Okay.
And also to advocate for stock-ups in hospitals, and also increase the number of hospitals. Because currently the issue that I've seen on ground is the hospitals are few and they're at a distance. And, you know, having to get women who are sick in labor or expecting walk long distances or accessing that service really compels me. It compels me to advocate for more hospitals.
Okay. Well, there you have it. That is Sheila Manio. She's in Mukono, woman member of parliament, vying for that. And Jen Francis Samongin is standing in. She's aspiring for the NRM vice chair female wing. That's where we are. The incumbent, you say, on code, that there is a very big gap between the biggest organ where she sits, the incumbent, to where the women on the ground are. What do you think are the key needs of the women they would actually love to plug in from the party's direction?
One, the women need to be motivated to keep doing what they are doing. Two, we are talking
to keep doing what they're doing, of not coming up in arms?
Like you see right now, we are talking about socio-economic transformation as NRM. And our women have gotten into groups. They have started saving a little, but they need a boost. We really need to boost them by, you know, offering some loans to the women.
So do you believe that saving culture and these circles were not started by the incumbent? Like she didn't drum more for that?
If she did, but there is time for someone to take over. They are not feeling her.
Okay.
You can't just get a woman pregnant and you go to a certain island and you leave her there. She'll give birth to a dead baby because she'll be stressed. So we need somebody to support them, someone to encourage them and tell them, yes, there you are. And then also as they save, they need to now put that money into another income generating activity because some of them are saving, then at the end of the year they are dividing the money for Christmas and blah blah blah. So they need to be encouraged that as you save this money, let's use it to buy a goat here, you know. And then of course to see their leaders. It's very important for your leader to come and tell you that what you're doing is good, what you're doing is, you know. So that is what these women need. And they're the ones shouting, NRM, they are voting. They need to have their leaders near them.
Let's look at financial inclusion. What kind of strategies do you have in place that are going to involve the women from the party structures or nationwide when you actually go through to make sure that they are involved and it actually benefits them on a big scale?
First of all, is still to go and talk to our people that it is not about the money. Let's look at the individual. Let's look at what the person offers. And let's look at these positions. What are you voting for? What is the person going to do? When we understand the roles of the position we are voting these people for, then the women can easily know what to do. Yes.
Well, we're still looking at what it takes to take on the incumbents. Did you get the blessings of the elders? Because your position where she is, the one you're vying for, it's for the first time in history, I saw a poster of Haji Moses Chigongo. Do you feel that you, the young generation, you're shaking up the status quo up and you just want to dismantle it and possibly take over and bring the new vibe with it?
Like I said, whether we like it or not, we must talk transition. And if we don't begin now, then the party will go with our elders.
Do you give this conversation to a chairman of the party, if you're talking about transition?
Our chairman is still our best scorer and is the vision bearer. But as is there, he needs to train some of us.
Do you read the Bible,
from
Jen?
him. Yes.
The Bible says that write a vision and whoever looks at it will run with it. Has the chairman written the vision that you can run with it today?
That is why we are here. We want it from him now. Because the people he is sitting with on the same table are people who have been with him, who have understood this vision with him. So if they are going, they will go together. So we need to be on the same table with him now, so that we pick on the vision. The Basoga say, "Omwana atagobera bazaire mu nimiro, tali yega kulima." So here we are, sitting with him on the same table. We will learn the boundaries of our land. And when he goes, we can become the heirs.
You, the women who are young, who are in this generation, the position she's vying for, it represents you. What do you make of Kadaga? The incumbent is current wave, or what she did. Have you ever met her? Did you ever see some projects within the party where she actually comes and talks to you?
Well, I haven't. This is my first time into politics, but I've been watching her on media and other platforms. I think she's done her part.
Okay.
She's inspirational. She has fought for the girl child.
Okay.
She has fought for women, and that's one thing that, you know, she has put women at a certain level. She's elevated us and given us a voice.
Okay.
So I appreciate her for that.
But do you feel now you need, one of the issues I think why you're coming or vying for a seat, by your statement, is that you need the new vibe. You need the new feel. Do you still need this new feel to cut across all lanes?
Change is inevitable.
Yes.
Transition is the talk now.
Okay.
Yes.
What kind of transition would you like to see?
Transition from our elders to the new generation. Because we are the future. When is the future? The future is now.
Or the future is not tomorrow?
No. The future is now.
Well, this is Morning at NTV. Your feedback on the different platforms on Twitter. The hashtag is Morning at NTV. We're talking about what it takes to take on the incumbent. We have Jen Francine Samongin, and of course we have Sheila Amanio. These are all aspirants at the different positions, and we're looking at what could be their biggest challenges. Hypothetically, Sheila, if you're taking on this and you had an incumbent, what would be your biggest fears?
Definitely financial. Financial is the biggest constraint right now. I mean, if the incumbent...
How does finance get into play? Are you buying voters on the ground? Are you doing activity? What exactly do you need finances for?
You have to facilitate. There's some activities that happen. You don't just collect people to pitch to them your message. They've left their work, and you don't give them facilitation in terms of transport.
Okay.
And I was someone who was advocating for, you know, no monetarization of politics.
Yes, yes.
But when I went on ground, you need to talk to people, you need to facilitate them. I mean, they're leaving their fields to come and listen to you, pitch to them. How do you expect to talk to people who are hungry, you know?
So you have to give them food.
And when you get there, the first thing they tell you, oh, Madam Honorable, we want some water, we want some tea.
Oh, yeah.
and seeing how poverty-stricken they are,
Yeah.
definitely you try and boil some water from your kettle, not necessarily having to do the heavy financing,
Yeah.
but the very
But you
little
need
motivation,
logistics and
the
operations.
logistics, yes.
Okay.
So
Looking at that as one of the constraints, now that it's social distancing, masks and COVID-19 in plan, we are having what we call the digital campaigning. Is it working on ground?
It is. It is working on ground. People are respecting the SOPs.
Okay.
They are respecting that COVID is there. And I mean, this fight has been spearheaded by our leader.
Yeah.
And
So-
they're taking heed of.
Scientific campaigns. How do you do these scientific campaigns? Do you send messages
actually-
every day? Do you send out posts on Facebook, on your Instagram? Or how exactly are you navigating this?
I'm happy that it's a scientific,
Okay.
because you don't have to spend
Okay.
the rallies, I don't know,
The PA system,
the PA system,
the drives and all.
lobbying people to come and paying the venue for the
Yeah.
venue and everything. We're going door to door with our masks, with our hand wash, and we're also preaching the gospel
Okay.
of COVID.
Of COVID, yes.
So and it's, from my experience, it has been good to relate with the people one on one. It's a bit hectic because I mean the coverage is big.
Yeah.
The coverage is big, but we try as much as possible to make it fast and quick. But they understand the message door to door, and that, from my understanding, that was the olden day of campaigning.
That's the real approach of
the
of
real
elections.
approach.
Yes.
And that's why NRM has been winning, because they go, the approach has been door to door.
Okay.
Door to door, door to door. And I'm very confident when I tell you that NRM is winning in our constituent, in our district, because of that approach. They are in the grassroots.
Door to door.
Door to door.
Jen Francis,
Yes,
yours is not door to door. You have to go to different regions and you talk to them. But something about the scientific elections. How has this affected your earlier? Because how long have you harbored this thought of vying for this position?
It's been there, because first of all, I've been a NEC member
Yes.
for the last 7 years. And
So for the 7 years you've been... Okay, now, in the 7 years you've seen how campaigns were running and how she was going around. How has this COVID affected your initial plans?
But it has really affected greatly, because those days we would just come to Nambole.
Yeah.
All these voters would come to Nambole, then you just have your people move around, you talk to them, and then you give them that speech on that day. And but now you have to run to this district, you have to go the other side, and it's very costly. And of course, you know, I'm contesting with a person you know and a minister. So it is not easy.
It gets
It is quite
constraining.
tough. It's constraining, but I am there.
You're there.
I am courageous and I have the zeal.
Okay.
And they're good enough, the two people I'm contesting with, the two ministers, are all bickering. And it is high time we have somebody who can...
Thank you so much that you've hinted about bakery. I really pray that it comes from you. Do you believe that the intrigue within the party, in one or the other, it's affecting the clout at the top?
Very much.
And what is the solution for that?
First of all, like in the women's seat now, is to get a neutral person.
Are you neutral?
I am very neutral. I am very neutral. I come in good faith. I am not coming to fight anyone. I am coming because I want to put right those challenges that the women are facing. And now if we come in when we are bickering, then we are breaking the party the more. But Jane Francis comes in even to sit those two. I'm a councillor by profession. I would really love to sit them, that the Busoga issues are not brought to the national level. Yes.
So your job is to bring hope and guide from the national perspective.
Yes.
Looking at that, still within the high ranking, I'm driving to what you said, that the biggest organ, the highest organ of your party is detached from what is happening on the grassroots. Yesterday, there was a clip, I'm sure you actually saw it on social media, a woman who was stripped naked.
It was very unfortunate. I saw it.
And she was disgruntled about the NRM and how people run the party for the women wing and how she's lost money on that. How are you hoping to bridge that? Because by the time a woman, I'm African, by the time a woman says I'm going to strip naked, like she has nothing to lose. By the time we get to that level of disgruntlement and, you know, being so frustrated with life.
That is how most of them are disgruntled. And it is not just much. These women need a leader to go and speak to them. Just your presence with them. We have many of them. We have our supporters. For example, we have those who contest, like in our primaries. Then they lose out. Right now, we have a big number of NEC members outside Parliament. But they just need someone to go and speak to them. They answer their questions. Be available. Availability is the biggest problem we are facing with our leaders. So like such a girl, that lady, to have reached that point, they have been sending signals. They have been wanting to meet our leaders. But unfortunately, we are leaving this whole thing to Muzei. Then why are we deputizing him? People should be able to run around. But I believe the reason is still that Muzei can no longer send a judge. At least it does not have a person to send. So some of us are here to run to such places.
So Muzei needs a youthful person like Jen Francis to go.
Yes.
Come on, Jen. This is Morning at 10 TV. It's more exciting here. We are looking at the people taking on the incumbents right now. Many of you are sending your feedback on Twitter. Let me try to tap in one of those. Someone is saying that we are grateful that young leaders are coming up to take this, but what does it take for, okay, this is to you, Sheila. Being a youth and you're coming into the corridors of power and all this that is happening, what are some of the driving factors that are going to keep you not compromised when you get there?
Serving the people. I'm there to serve the people.
Okay.
That is my mandate. To lobby for them and mobilize. Because politics is about mobilizing and not forgetting responding to the needs of the people. So
There is carry on. There is a wave that is currently on ground of where people are saying that after we vote, I don't know whether you saw this in Koboko, where some person went on TV and said, we want the president, but we don't want someone I won't mention here. But where does that leave you? Like where people say we're going to vote for this one, we're not going to vote for this one. That kind of discernment in the party. Won't it affect what you want to plan to put on ground?
I don't think it will.
The bickering up there is going to affect.
I don't think it will.
Jen Francis, don't you believe the bickering up there is affecting the ones on the ground?
It does.
How does it affect them?
So because now when people are bickering, because now like we talked about the intrigue, there's people who will be taking sides. Because I am in this camp, then I should bring down the other camp. So it does affect. But it is high time we dealt with the intrigue.
Don't you think that these parties need an institute where they go and they train leaders? Don't you think we are lacking leaders in one way or the other? Who are trained to be leaders, not just masqueraders who are just going to come through?
I think centers are there. I personally, I was trained by Forward. Okay. Years back, so many years back, I think 15 years ago. Nice. I signed up for a program where they were training transformative, the theme was transformative and alternative leadership. And the youth or individuals who are interested in leadership positions, they should look out for those opportunities. And they're there.
Jan Francis,
Yes.
Do you believe that, well, they are there, but they're different organizations. Don't you feel that we need a national institute, not the one that was turned into an NRM one, the one of Chankwan's? It's ideally a national leadership institute where everyone, regardless of your party, you can go and you study and you come out and you lead your people. Now, don't you think we need an independent institute?
We need
it.
Where we could possibly go and we would do all... People get to know that we can actually study.
Very much so. We
so
need it. And it's
is that part of your plan to actually have this?
Yes.
How are you achieving this?
When I get into
from a national level?
Yes. We need it because I have been to China and I have attended some of the trainings by the China Communist Party. And you know, when we prepare our leaders right from the grassroots, you don't see this. You know, people understand why they are there. People will understand what leadership is all about. But if you know, somebody just walks out from wherever they come from, and then because probably they've done one project or the other, and now we are voting for them. Somebody comes with a certain big kind of propaganda, and then we vote for them. So we really need people to be trained.
Do you believe your party has what they call kingmakers, that if you're not blessed by someone, you won't win it regardless of how educated you are, how exposed you are? Do you believe that is happening?
Yes.
And how are you breaking that?
By winning this election.
When you win, you're going to break all that?
It will be broken because I'll talk out of experience. I have not, I mean, I have come as Jen Francis to face these ministers and I am not sent by anyone. So if I do it, then others will. people will realize that, okay, it is not about so-and-so signing for you, but it is about what the people want.
Worst case scenario, if you don't go through, how are you willing to go against about that? Because it's one thing that is disturbing Africa's politics, that we have kingmakers, blazers. If they don't blaze you, you're not going to go through irregardless. What should be done, okay, to maneuver such a challenge in politics?
If I don't go through, first of all, the struggle continues. Because I believe me, taking this step wasn't easy. But by the mere fact that I could take it without a godfather or whoever is a sign that we are beginning to get there. But it still goes back to educating our people. That look at a person. Look at a person that fits what you want. Let's not look at the kingmakers and blah, blah. At the end of the day, then the person will dance to the tune of the kingmaker, and then you lose out. Then tomorrow you begin complaining, oh, we sent so-and-so, and they're not doing what we sent them to do. So send a person, and let the person be your servant. Because
don't you think that comes with the money? Because these people who are voting, they're not voting from an informed point of view, in my own opinion, because they're voting for someone who is giving them soap or sugar or some little monies that can take them for a day or two. How are we going to change that cycle? That someone is going to sit and say, you see, Jen and Sheila, I think I'm going to vote Jen because of A, B, C, D, these values here.
it is a big challenge yet. And I think we also need to begin educating our people before elections.
Okay.
We need to have a program where we talk to our people and tell them the roles of our leaders. And then so that when the money comes, they know that this one is doing this to us because they do not have what it takes. If we prepare the minds of the people, I've heard some of them. They will tell you, let's eat so-and-so and vote for so-and-so. You find them even singing, chanting those slogans. We'll eat so-and-so and vote so-and-so. So once our people can get to that level, it will sweep all over.
Doesn't that show the big number, the magnitude of poverty we have as a nation? And how are you going to bring about household income? Because once the women understand the household income analogy, then they won't even eat any other person's money. They will actually just shun it and focus on what they have to vote for. And
like I said, it is still passing this information to the grassroots. Our chairman has talked about these things. He has talked about how you can utilize your small piece, how you can do this, how we can transform. But our people need a push. They need to be talked to now and then. We don't have to wait for the chairman to come and address us on Operation Wealth Creation when we have all these people around. When you talk to these people and you begin doing it, and we begin having some of these demonstrational farms or wherever in our regions, in our districts, and people will learn. But now we have to run to Rakitura, we have to go to, those places to take them. We need to do them where we are, and they see that this is it. Our leaders should also do it in their areas, and people can see and say, okay, so this can work.
Okay. Sheila, let's talk about the electoral process. Given that it's COVID-19 and all that is happening, what are you seeing the electoral process like from your perspective, especially from the party one then to the national one?
Well, from my experience with the party process, it's been transparent.
Okay.
It's been easy. The requirements are not that, out of the moon. It's just a vetting process.
Okay.
It's a vetting process, which is all-inclusive. It is all-inclusive. So
were you blessed by someone as well?
No, no. Just like her, I don't have a blesser. I don't believe in kingmakers. I believe in, yeah.
Okay.
Self-made, being self-made. Yeah.
This entire position, taking it up, what was family's reaction? Now we're on the real, because you're bottling up big positions here. What was family's reaction where you say, I'm going to stand, and your husband is like, wait a minute. How did your husband react? How did your family react? Your children?
My husband is my biggest supporter.
Okay.
Mr. Juvino Vetambira. He's my biggest supporter, biggest advocate. He gave me a blessing. Okay. And before I went out to undergo through the process, I had to, as a lady, of course, as a woman, as a wife, I had to, a submissive wife, I had to get to seek a blessing from my husband. Okay. And once he accepted and allowed me and blessed me, I went on with the process. Okay. And when I went through the process, the rest of the family members, it was automatic. Okay. Because they knew my conviction and the reason why I was vying for this position. they knew the attachment and the reason why I'm coming to
vie for
rally,
these.
to rally for this, and to also my passion for the women and the contribution I want to bring in the area where I reside.
Okay.
Yes.
Jen, Francis,
Yes.
Amongin,
Yes.
your family, for the 7 years you've been at the neck, now here you are, you're vying for the second top position of a woman in your party. What was the reaction like? Especially, I want to hear from your husband. What was your husband's reaction
My
like?
husband supports me, knows I'm very ambitious.
Okay.
When I told him, he was like, the next time I'll hear you contesting for the president of this country, and I won't be surprised.
Are you saying
Yes.
you will one day vie for this position?
Why not? my husband has been supportive. I have been a flag bearer for NRM in Amoru district, where I'm married. I mean, that courage of contesting in a place where you're not born, and actually region does not support NRM that much. But I kept on, even when they kept on telling me, don't contest here you won't get votes. But that is me. I went for it. But my ambition moves me. After that, right now I'm contesting for Woman MP Kabremaido. So my ambition is beyond the sky. I even wanted to go to the East African Parliament.
And your children, how did you baby step them into this entire wave?
My children know mommy wants to serve.
Because this is a nationwide campaign. You're never going to be home for like 3 to 4 months.
I like, mommy wants to serve, and they hear me talk. They know my passion. I have been serving all throughout school. My parents know that. Of course, in the beginning, they were like, who? Kadoga? I was like, somebody has to start somewhere. And the time is now.
The time is now.
The time is now. But later, they all gave me their blessings, and they are really in support. They are also busy talking to their friends. And of course, I am a Kumam by tribe.
Okay.
And I am a niece to the Itesots. I am married in Acholi. My husband, Johnson Okili, has worked in Imbarara for many years. If you've visited Lakeview,
So you're a collage of tribes at home.
So there are people busy here and there.
Okay. Well, looking at the entire campaign, did you at any one time talk to the incumbent and you tell her, you know what, by the way, I'm coming for that seat? Did you even show signals, like you're saying that these women on the ground have been sending signals that, by the way, we need your attention here, but you're not paying attention? Did you show some signals that there is someone who told the Deputy Speaker of Parliament that I'm coming, and she crossed to the NRM. I don't know how true her statement is going to come true. Did you at any one time show signals to the Speaker?
I didn't speak to the Speaker about this. Like I said, where would I get her?
You're part of the NEC.
Yes.
But you didn't have access to the Speaker. Jen Francis.
Yes.
You sit in the same meetings and you deliberate for the nation from your party, and you can't still access her to talk about issues of the
I
women.
haven't. I have tried to go, and I've tried to go to her office. Her PA can bear me this. I have ever tried to go, and then they're like, no, I don't want to talk about that.
So this is what you're saying, that she's inaccessible for the women actually on the ground in the party.
So if I can't access her, what about those women down there? But I also don't blame her. She has a lot.
So,
She has a lot on her desk.
so you want to help her?
Please.
Carry
We need her still here. It is too much for her.
This is Morning at NTV. We're tapping into the conversation of taking on the incumbents. Tembo, thank you so much for being on Morning at NTV. The feedback is coming through. Okay, that said, let's look at what is currently in the ground, where people are now, there's some families that are known that this family will always and always vie for this. Sheila, have you tried to go to these families that are predominantly opposition and talk to them, and have they received the message where they're saying that, well, we can possibly take this on?
Currently, it's an in-house vote. We're going through the process of primaries. Maybe after the primaries, if my party members elect me as their flag bearer, then I'll have that conversation after. But currently, the canvassing for votes is within the party, within the people who are in the NRM register. Those are the ones that we're reaching out to.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, there you have it. It's still a conversation that is heated up. Now connecting to my colleague, that is Stephen Mbide in Andeba. We need to understand what exactly is happening, the update on those who were arrested and those who were on ground and all. But that will come shortly after this break, and we'll go straight to Ndeba with Mbide. Keep it morning at NTV. We'll be back.